Vegas nightlife is dying, and it's not just one club struggling. It's the entire industry collapsing. Hakkasan, Omnia, XS Marquee. The clubs that once defined Vegas nightlife are now fighting to survive. Bottle service that used to require reservations weeks in advance? Now available same night. Tables that cost $10,000? Half empty. 69% of adults ages 18 to 24 prefer cannabis over alcohol. Gen Z doesn't drink. They don't club. They'd rather stay home and smoke weed than spend $1,000 on bottles. The bottle service era is over. The Vegas nightclub model is broken, and nobody knows how to fix it. This is the story of how Vegas nightlife died. In the 2000s and early 2010s, Las Vegas nightclubs were untouchable. XS, Hakkasan, Omnia, Marquee. These weren't just clubs, they were empires. A single good DJ residency could generate tens of millions of dollars. Calvin Harris, Tiesto, Zedd, Steve Aoki, they all had multi-year, multi-million-dollar deals. Weekend nights would bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single evening. The bottle service model was genius. Charge $500 for a vodka bottle that costs $30. Multiply that by hundreds of tables. Add 37% in taxes, tips, and fees. Every weekend night was a goldmine. The spectacle. But it wasn't just about the money. Vegas nightclubs created experiences nobody else could match. Hakkasan had 5 levels, 80,000 square feet, and a $100 million construction budget. Omnia featured a kinetic chandelier with 8 concentric rings that moved independently. XS had an outdoor pool area where partygoers could swim while DJs performed. These weren't clubs. These were attractions. People planned entire Vegas trips around getting into the right nightclub on the right night. The dress codes were strict. The door policies were brutal. The velvet rope was real. And that exclusivity made it more desirable. Bottle service minimums range from $500 for a basic table to $10,000 plus for premium locations. On major holidays like New Year's Eve or big fight weekends, tables could hit $50,000, and people paid it. Celebrities, high rollers, bachelor parties dropping their savings, corporate groups on expense accounts. The money poured in. Last month, competing nightlife giant Tao Group acquired Hakkasan Group, paving the way to a merged entity with combined control of 61 venues and restaurants in 22 markets worldwide. The consolidation created a nightlife empire that dominated Vegas. Everything was working. Until it wasn't. March 2020, every nightclub in Vegas closed. For months. When they finally reopened, everything had changed. Social distancing on dance floors, reduced capacity, masks required, the energy was gone. But worse than the restrictions, the mindset shifted. Las Vegas-based promoter Patrick Trout said, "It's something I've observed since the shutdown ended, but especially in the last year. I've seen a dramatic increase in people not drinking at shows or drinking non-alcoholic stuff, but then simultaneously also wanting to smoke more. We are really seeing a generational cultural shift." COVID didn't just close the clubs. It changed what people wanted from nightlife. Gen Z doesn't drink. Here's the problem Vegas doesn't want to face. The next generation doesn't club the way millennials did. 69% of adults ages 18-24 prefer cannabis to alcohol, and 56% have replaced some of their alcohol consumption with cannabis. Think about what that means for Vegas nightclubs. An entire generation that doesn't want what you're selling. They're not interested in $20 cocktails. They don't care about $500 bottle service. They'd rather stay home, smoke weed, and hang out than spend thousands at a club. The share of adults under age 35 who say they ever drink dropped 10 percentage points in 2 decades to 62% in 2021-2023 from 72% in 2001-2003. Clubs are caught in an impossible situation. Operating costs are massive. Rent on the strip, DJ fees, staff, security, insurance, marketing. A single night costs hundreds of thousands to operate. They need high volume and high spending to survive. But volume is down, and Gen Z doesn't spend like millennials did. By 2024, the bottle service boom has long fizzled, and culture has taken a different stance on purchasing bottles at the club, particularly in New York City. What died in NYC is now dying in Vegas. Technology killed the need. People used to go to the club to meet people, but now we have Instagram and Raya. You don't need to spend $10K on a table to meet a model at the club, you can just go on Raya. Dating apps, social media. The entire reason people used to go to clubs, to meet others, to be seen, to make connections, can now be done from your phone. Why spend $1,000 on a table when you can swipe right for free? Walk into Hakkasan or Omnia on a Tuesday night now. It's not what it used to be. Omnia is open Tuesday and Thursday through Sunday. Notice what's missing? Monday, Wednesday. They can't fill the club enough nights to stay open 7 days. Even weekend nights aren't what they were. Tables that used to require reservations weeks in advance, now available same day. People want to be low-key. Everyone is so concerned with what's cool. The sparklers and spectacle that defined Vegas bottle service, now seen as tacky. Vegas is stuck. They can't lower prices because their costs are too high, but they can't maintain current prices because customers won't pay them. A $500 bottle service minimum becomes $685 after taxes, tips, and fees. For a bottle of vodka you could buy for $30 at a store. That math worked when everyone was drinking and money flowed freely. It doesn't work when Billboard reported music venues and clubs across the U.S. We're seeing alcohol sales dry up at shows with Gen Z audiences. Planet 13 opened its consumption lounge Dazed on April 5th and is planning a 3-story, 60,000 square foot nightclub. They're building the future of Vegas nightlife. And it doesn't involve alcohol. Planet 13's entertainment director said, "You can stay all night drinking for hours. You can't stay all night smoking." It's a totally different culture, from what they want musically to what their stay time is. Different culture, different expectations, different business model. Vegas nightclubs haven't adapted. Tao Group acquired Hakkasan Group last year. When competitors merge, that's not a sign of strength, that's desperation. They're consolidating because individual clubs can't survive alone anymore. They need economies of scale, shared costs, combined marketing. But consolidation doesn't fix the fundamental problem. Young people don't want what you're selling. Half of Gen Zers work out, compared to just 45% of other generations. They also take personalized supplements and attend regular therapy sessions at higher rates than millennials, Gen Xers, and boomers. Gen Z is health conscious, wellness focused. They know alcohol is toxic. Why would they binge drink at a club when they're tracking their macros and doing hot yoga? Alcohol is an expensive habit, and Gen Z is known to be more mindful about their spending habits in today's tight economy. Nowadays, it's $17 for a drink at the club. Not a lot of people want to spend that kind of money. Gen Z is broke. Student loans, high cost of living, stagnant wages. Only 58% of Gen Z consider going out to bars and restaurants as an important part of how they socialize, compared to 65% of millennials. They're homebodies. The amount of time people spent with friends in person decreased from 30 hours a month in 2003 to 10 hours a month in 2020. Food delivery, streaming, video games, social media. Everything you need is at home. Why go out? Vegas nightclubs have a few options, and none of them are good. Option 1. Keep doing what they're doing and hope Gen Z suddenly starts drinking and clubbing. They won't. Option 2. Dramatically lower prices to attract more customers. They can't. Operating costs are too high. Option 3. Rebrand as something else. Cannabis lounges, social experiences, wellness clubs. Too late. Others are already doing it better. Option 4. Close. Many will. Not every club will make it. The marginal ones are already struggling. When the next recession hits, several major nightclubs will shut down permanently. The consolidation will continue. Tao Group will keep buying struggling competitors. Eventually, one or two massive companies will control all the remaining clubs. But even that might not be enough. Vegas nightlife is dying because an entire generation doesn't want it anymore. 69% of Gen Z prefer cannabis to alcohol. They don't drink. They don't spend thousands on bottle service. They'd rather stay home. The clubs that once defined Vegas, Hakkasan, Omnia, XS, Marquee, are fighting a losing battle against changing culture, technology, and economics. Some will adapt. Most will struggle. Many will close. The bottle service era is over, and Vegas hasn't figured out what comes next.